Well, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. It is Saturday morning, and it is April the 11th. Every day kind of runs into the same day because I work pretty much every day. We've been working on this house that we've been completely rebuilding since the beginning of the year, and we're coming out on the tail side of it. I've been building the kitchen cabinets, and today I'll finish setting those and get them painted, and I'm going to start the tile work in the bathroom and the trim and things, and we should be finished with it next week, which will be great because we're leaving for the draft. Now, if you're just tuning in, I've always been a big person. I was born 13 pounds, 9 ounces. Yeah. 13 pounds, 9 ounces. And if you've seen my mom, she's not a very big woman. I did have a brother who was 12, rest his soul. 12 pounds. But I was 13 pounds, 9 ounces. So my nickname was Ox. That's what my mom always called me, because I was big. Even in JMU, when I was trying to become a Catholic, I was about 207 pounds, and they wanted me to get down to 190. And I ate, literally, I could run a cross-country course. And if you've ever been to JMU, the cross-country course is back behind the Convocation Center on over 81. And it's over the hill and through the woods. It's 3.1 miles, and I used to run that in 19 minutes. I know it's hard to believe when you see me walk around with these bad knees. But I used to be in shape, but it was damn near impossible for me to get under 200 pounds then. And I had about a 5% body fat. Enter today. I've always got, I don't have a whole lot of fat that's, here. This is just some skin. I mean, I have a big strain. I still have a thick plate right here, but I do have some in the middle. I've got really big thighs on here. So I've been about 256, when I got married to my wife 20 some years ago. And that's kind of the middle point for me. What would always happen is my weight would go up. I would get up to the height of 278. And for a man that's 5'10", you can definitely see a lot of belly that would be there. So I've done different diets over the year after football season is over and working on trying to lose weight. And I usually do. And a lot of it is being more active because you're out gardening or putting plants out, doing construction work and things like that. So naturally, I end up going downhill. And when I was doing keto was working really well. Only thing is sometimes my blood pressure would get up high and things like that and so on. So having so much protein and meat wasn't really a good balance. This year, I was up at 275. I remember because 275 was like December 11th or 13th. And about a month later, my son started, he's here, we're working on this house together. And he's like, I'm not eating that. He's like, that's full of chemicals. That's processed and stuff. And I'm like, but son, it's just the flour. It's the olive oil and stuff. He said, yeah, but it's how things are made. And buying like spice packs of like taco seasoning and things, or sometimes I would end up getting, I said, I'll do something easy. I'll get some hamburger and I'll get some sandwiches. We'll have some sloppy joes. And he's like, the bread is crap, Dad. The hamburger is awful. And that man was just full of sugar. So we made changes, and one of those is going to local butcher, which I'm going to today. And I made these changes not just for me, also for my kids. So one of my daughters, she loves chicken thighs and she loves the ground beef. Another one of my daughters loves the ground beef and she likes chicken breast. So these are locally sourced, locally done. And when I talk about fresh, they're in there grinding up hamburger. It's not from 300 cows. And you could put in orders. And the crazy thing is it's about the same price as if you were going to the Walmart grocery store across there or less. So make this long story that's going on here shorter. We haven't been eating fast food. I haven't been drinking sodas. Haven't been buying stuff in a box and using that as a starter. I've been cooking fresh. And when I say fresh, I mean fresh. Going to the Amish grocery store, using a Yuka app, which looks, so I'll go through and break. For example, let me show you one of the things I found. Instead of cooking things like I usually do in vegetable oil, found this Frizzle high heat cooking, because when you're frying food, so let me put in some vegetable oil. Vegetable oil is one of those processed ones they say are bad. This one is actually made from an olive oil and olive oil mash. I don't know what olive oil mash is, but there's very few ingredients in it. This comes out with a 73 as far as on a scale of 100. So I did some fried pork chops. I'm not going to lie. I had fried pork chops the other night. I think there's still some left. I got the pork chops from my butcher. I found a breading that was, or spiced breading for it. It was smothered pork chops. Got some mushrooms, ended up frying those with the breading that they had. I used a little bit of the flour that was the non-processed, bleached flour and stuff, and cooked those. Had a salad with it, and actually made mashed potatoes. Okay? Mashed potatoes. Now, I ended up using the whole cream that I ended up buying from the Amish store. That's not the fully processed one they're getting fixed. So I've been eating good food. I've been staying away from the $3 candy bars, which busts the budget. And I've done stuff like pot of greens. So this is some collard greens with some bacon in it, some chicken broth, and some pepper flakes. So that's the kind of foods that we've been eating. And if you look in my fridge, you'll see very few. Mike does the almond milk. I do need to get some more of my heavy cream there. But you'll notice there's not a lot of stuff. We've been weaning ourselves off of regular junk. So you don't see any juice bottles in here or orange juice and things like that. We're trying to eat real food. And with that, without being on a diet, no. When I'm hungry and snacks, I have a refrigerator that's upstairs by my studio. I've got cottage cheese in there. I've got yogurt in there, Greek yogurt. I've got pickles in there. I've got some of my mom's pickled beets. I have cheese. I know cheese is one of those ones that the pharmaceutical companies end up doing, but you can't eliminate everything. I have like pistachios. My new trick is actually sesame seed sticks. I love sesame seed sticks. Some Triscuit crackers. So I'll nibble on things like that are actually better. Now here's where it's crazy. I'll weigh myself in the morning when I get up, because that's usually when I'm actually the most. I drink my coffee. I know that the coffee cream and probably the keto creamer is not good for me, but that's my vice. Okay, I gotta have it. I know that's probably unnatural sweeteners and stuff in it, but I gotta have that. I'm down to 254 this morning, which is a low in the morning, and last night I was 252 after working yesterday. So 275 3 months ago, 252. 23-pound weight loss. And this is the lowest I've been in at least 5 years. And it hasn't been a diet where I'm just like, oh, I'm starving to death. Oh, I want something. I'm eating, look, I've been having hamburgers, because we get the hamburgers. And the crazy thing about the hamburger is my kids, my mother, my family, the hamburger is totally different. And so it's $6.50 if I buy 5 pounds, which 5 pounds of hamburger is not much. $6.50 a pound. I get them to package it for me, and I put it in the freezer. If I just don't feel like doing anything, I'll just take out 1.5 pounds of hamburger. I'll make 6 burgers for me, my son, and my wife, and I'll get some mushrooms and some onions and some jalapeno peppers. I need to find a better bun than I guess the Arnold's Killer Bread, because now they've been bought out. But we'll do a burger, and we'll do like some asparagus, or I might do something else as a side dish, like a salad or whatever. And I'll eat one of those and feel full. The craziest thing is I'm not hungry all day. That's the craziest thing, because I would go eat like, one of my Reese's Sticks, the 2-pack of them, and I'd want another one instantly. I'd eat some potato chips, although we do eat some Sun Chips. I've been buying some of those. Eat some potato chips, and you just kind of, it's crazy, because I'm not sitting here hungry all day. If it weren't for me putting creamer in my coffee, I would actually be fasting, because I wake up, I don't like to eat first thing in the morning, because when I do, I want to eat all day, and it slows me down. So I get out there, I bust my hump, I get to work, and I do all kinds of stuff, and then I come home in the afternoon, and I cook something really good, and it has been really working for me. So you tell me if you can tell the difference in me. Do I look any different? Do I look any thinner? You tell me. And again, I've been putting on here basically what we've been doing. I don't put a cooking video out every day, because more times than not, I'm just kind of doing hamburgers. And so it's like, you've seen me do the hamburgers. But I do, the thing I love about my hamburgers is when you do the grilled onions with the jalapenos and the mushrooms, you're adding those vegetables, and now I've got the high heat oil that I can use out there. Excuse me. I'm going to get another bottle of this just to have out at the grill. This will be great, because I'll be able to use that high heat oil when I cook on it. The other thing that amazes me too about the hamburger is the griddle I have outside has a side grease catching thing. And normally if I go to the grocery store, Kroger or Walmart, Marketplace or whatever, and I cook the burgers, they shrivel up so bad, and there's so much grease on it. There's not a lot of grease coming off of these burgers. It really isn't. And so when you see all these videos about how toxic the food is, there is a lot to it. I'm being serious. Now, what we're doing a couple things here too. Let me show you, like for example, Mexican plant, right? It's romaine lettuce. That's a head of romaine lettuce being formed right there. If we go, oh, of course over here, let me show you this. This is my mom's corner. My mom has given me a lot of family heirlooms and stuff, but more than anything else, this is some of my mom's canned food. She's been canning for about 70 years. And you can see, these are peaches that were grown here from my peach tree. And some sweet pickles, all this stuff. All it's got in it is a little bit of salt as a preservative. And that, it doesn't get any better than that. She grew it, she canned it, I eat it. And out here, it's morning time. We have started. We have critters groundhogs that eat up a lot of stuff I have in my garden down there. But here we have fresh basil, hot pepper plants that are in here. Unfortunately, covering the plants up to keep them from freezing, I kind of hurt that one. But we have some leaf lettuce right here. We have some sage, more hot peppers. Oh, sage right there. More hot peppers. Again, this one got a little bit frozen. We'll clip that off. But look at these romaine lettuce heads that are growing. But wait, there's more. Onions that we'll plant once I get my tiller. Fortunately, the groundhog doesn't eat those. So we'll have our garden down there. Strawberries. Here's our strawberry. Look at that strawberry bloom. Down here we've got some tea, some mint for our tea and things, which will also help to keep the bugs away. More peppers because I love my peppers. And I've got my tomato plants. It's too soon to plant them in the ground, but I'm going to end up planting those. Right now we're bringing them out to get them to grow a little bit more. So that way we'll hit the ground running. And I'll put some of those in some of these big planters that I have up here on the porch. So we're going to decorate with dinner. Yeah. And then down here, they don't mess with the potatoes too much. So the potatoes grow great in here. So I'm going to get some red potatoes, some red Pontiacs. I'll end up getting my onion sets put down here. And we'll get some more peppers because that's what I do. So anywhere that you can eliminate, of course I got to feed the birds, that you can eliminate some of the chemicals that are in your food and stop doing processed. This red brick house, it's turned me into like a country boy where we're kind of throwing back the hands of time and going back to living a more natural life. And I will say, I've got more energy. I'm losing weight, and I feel a whole lot better. And that's all I can tell you. So if you want to follow me on our journey, my goal at the beginning of the year was if I could just get down to 250 again. If I could just get down to 250. The key on it is I know what works. The problem is when football season comes around, it's real easy to slip back, into junk. And I got to stop doing that. At 60 years old, I'm too old to be doing that. I can't take all that processed food. As always, well, you can see, we've got some tomatoes, you can see apples over here, bananas and things. Just trying to do better. So far it's working. Have a great day.